Now, STEM is based on the idea of teaching based on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. More so, female inclusion. I'm delighted to be able to talk to an example of STEM success, and she'll share her story, and hopefully we'll discuss some thought-provoking ideas on the way forward for educators to incorporate this in our education curriculum. Catherine Kuto was recently named Female Mining Professional of the Year 2019 by the Ghana Chamber of Mines. She's also a metallurgical manager for Apostle Goldfields Limited. Catherine, it's good to have you. Good afternoon. Do you hear me, Catherine?
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
I do hear you now. Hopefully, I'll see you soon. So we're celebrating your story as one of, a STEM success, science, technology, engineering, maths, success. But that's a subject area that many of us, our girls, run away from. But let's begin our conversation with you helping us understand your position. Metallurgical, what does that even mean?
Metallurgical, when we talk about metallurgical engineering, it is actually a study of metals.
A study of metals?
Oh, right. Yes, it's a study of metals.
Okay.
And it is actually a degree program covering mining, extraction, design, processing of metals, as well as how metals react to the environment. And then the changes, the environmental changes and the stress. So basically, it is a study. When you bring it to mining, in terms of mining processing, it is an area where the extraction of the coal is actually done when we talk about a metallurgical plant. In general times, people do understand that the ore or the material that is containing the coal is actually delivered from the pit to the process plant. So it is in the metallurgical plant that we do extract the coal from the material that was delivered from the pit to get our mineral of interest. So in simple terms, metallurgy is all about metal extractions.
Well, I want to also congratulate you on your recent award by the Ghana Chamber of Mines. So we have a few pictures of that we can perhaps put on to encourage some of these girls. But the Chamber of Mines and other organizations have been pushing for more support and effort for our girls, many of our girls, to be interested in STEM courses in schools. In your opinion, what is the key in getting more Ghanaian girls interested in STEM subjects?
In my opinion, I think charity begins at home. It is the duty of we parents at home to take away the fear, which is usually associated with the study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I think most children in their youthful age get that wrong perception that science is difficult. Anything about mathematics is very difficult. So for us to actually have a good foundation, then parents will need to work on the initial fears of every child. If we start that way, it will make it easier for teachers to be able to now align the children based on each person's potentials. So to me, STEM courses are very easier. They are just like any ordinary courses, other courses. But then we as parents need to get that wrong perception out of the child's mind right from the beginning. Right from the day that the child is in the house, you need to start teaching the child that if I have one tomato and I add another tomato to it, it should become 2 tomatoes. Then you are getting the mathematical fear out of the child right from the beginning.
I don't know if you can hear me, Catherine, but we're seeing a few of your pictures, but we'd love for more of our girls to be able to see you. But it looks like your Zoom video is a little bit covered. If you can unveil yourself for us to see you as we have the conversation, it will be great. But you've talked about how we can get more girls involved, about getting it from the house and getting it started. But the thing is that most of the women who are raising these girls themselves are not really interested in the science. Is there a way that we can do this in school to get more girls interested?
Yes, we can do that in school. I think basically from the school point of view, it all comes back to each student's availability to a teacher and a teacher being able to identify the child's potentials right from the beginning. And passion here is also very important. But for me, I see that the issue of fear, the issue of this is a no-go area is always the stumbling block. That is the foundation. And that's why I keep talking about for us to do well in science, not only as girls, but then as children. It is the initial fear, that the fear of mathematics, the fear of the integrated science or the general science is what we need to work on. Okay. But then in terms of teaching, I think the science has to be more practical. It should be an activity based. In that way, we will be able to overcome the fear. But then in a situation where we need to read and try to memorize equations and all that, then it makes it very difficult for children to appreciate that STEM courses are really the best to do. Okay. So maybe our educational system, we need to ensure that it is an activity based. It is more practical. If we can make it more practical, science is everyday life. I believe every child will grow to love it. And especially as girls or ladies that actually do very well in managing and doing 3 or 4 things at a time. We should be able to overcome it with practicalities.
Well, already we know that in the mining industry, you hardly have a lot of women there. So, of course, your story, that's why it's being celebrated by the Ghana Chamber of Mines. But you're the first female to be in your current position, even at Goldfields. Tell us a bit about your journey as we wrap up.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. My journey, I must say, that has been very supportive by the industry, especially the men that I have actually worked with. Because growing up in the industry, I started as a laboratory methodologist. And then after 2 years in the methodological lab, I moved, or I decided personally to change my area of work. So I applied for a role transfer, a transfer to a different section. So I was moved from the methodological laboratory, which is actually part of the technical section, into the operational section. So I went into the operation as a shift foreman, and it was the first time a lady was actually put on shift. So I ran the shift for almost a year, and then fortunately at the time, new month came. So my shift supervisor had the opportunity to leave for new month, and then I was actually interviewed and then promoted to pick up a shift. So I became one of the first shift supervisor, a senior shift supervisor. And running the shifts, I actually also went back to school to do my master's. So I was combining the work with the school. I was doing the modular courses. So every time I had a model, then I would apply for 2 weeks leave to go and do that model. So I did that for 3 years. And after the 3 years, I was actually moved from the shift, and then I became an ICMC coordinator, that is International Science Management Coordinator. Okay. And then a senior training coordinator in the process plant.
It's actually a very long journey, which we obviously can't address here. But I need to wrap up because I'm running out of time. You're doing a PhD as well, studying, I'm sure, how the metals continue to work with the environment, and we'll take some more inspiration from there. But what message will you leave for young girls who are watching you? And I was really hoping that we could see you on the video, on the Zoom video right now. What message would you have for young girls watching you or listening to you who want to be in engineering, who want to be in science? Your final message for them.
Yes, my final message I could not deliver without giving much appreciation to Goldfields. for giving me the opportunity, and then the leadership of Goldfields is for creating the enabling environment for women to be able to contribute, compete, and then also take up the rightful place in the industry. So for me, to all ladies listening, I want to tell them that the future looks bright for us, and then those of us in the industry already have already proven that female can excel in the industry.
Okay.
So all they need is get a passion, choose the right career, because when you come into mining, it is not only about metallurgical engineering, it is also about geology, it's also about electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. Right. So there are opportunities. Okay. And a company like Goldfields has already set the right foundation for us to succeed, okay, or to be very successful. Right. So I will encourage them to go into mining and then work hard and will be able to succeed.
Right. Catherine, we'll say a very big thanks to you. And once again, congratulations on your latest your award. That's the Female Mining Professional of the Year, awarded by the Ghana Chamber of Mines. That's Catherine Kuto. She's the metallurgical manager for the Abosso Goldfields Limited. And she says the word is essentially how the metals work with the environment. Catherine, thank you once again.